All ancient civilizations have at some point looked at the sky and seen those moving stars that we now call planets. Ancient Greeks named them planetes asteres, meaning wandering stars, or just planetai, wanderers. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the planets and what names they were given by the Greeks and the Romans, as well as what we call them nowadays in modern languages. As you probably know, only some of the planets are visible to the naked eye from Earth. These are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Neptune, Uranus, and dwarf planet Pluto are only visible through a telescope and were therefore discovered many centuries later. Because of this, only the first 5 planets were observed and named by any civilization, including Greeks and Romans. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and for this reason it can only be seen right after sunset or shortly before sunrise. Because of this, the Greeks thought that they were seeing 2 different planets and they named them differently. Apollon, when it was visible in the morning sky, and Hermes in the evening sky. Later on, they recognized Mercury as only one planet and they kept the name Hermes, who according to Greek mythology was the messenger of the gods and the conductor of souls. In other words, the god who helps the souls reach the afterlife. In modern Greek, they still refer to it as Hermes. Mercurius is the Roman equivalent of the god Hermes. In Roman mythology, Mercurius was also the messenger of the gods. It makes sense if we think that from Earth, Mercury seems to move faster than any other planet. This word is still used in many modern languages, like Mercurio in Italian or Merkur in Czech and German. Similar to Mercury, Venus is also very close to the Sun, and the Greeks gave it 2 names depending on when it was visible. Phosphoros, meaning the bringer of light in the morning, and Eosphoros, the bringer of dawn in the evening. Like Mercury, it was later identified as only one planet, and it was named after Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love. This word is retained in modern Greek with almost the same pronunciation and spelling, Aphrodite. Venus is the Roman counterpart of Aphrodite, also the goddess of beauty and love. It is also the way we call this planet in many languages, as varied as Dutch, Spanish, or Norwegian. In some other languages, mainly Slavic ones like Serbian, Slovenian, or Russian, the name comes from the genitive form of the word in Latin, Veneris. The Earth was not considered a planet at all until the 16th century, when the heliocentric model was introduced by Copernicus. In ancient Greek mythology, Ge, or its poetical form Gaia, was used to refer to the land beneath our feet. Gaia was the goddess and ancestral mother of all life. The modern Greek word for Earth is Gea. Some international terms stem from this word, including geology, literally the science of Earth, and geocentric. The word for it in Latin is terra, equivalent of Ge in Roman mythology. Terra is the goddess of rumors and fame. This word still exists in Romance languages, like terra in Italian and Portuguese, and tierra in Spanish. In Germanic languages, it derives from Proto-Indo-European ertho, and has evolved to become Erde in German, Earth in English, or Jord in Norwegian. In Slavic languages, the word for Earth has derived from this common root, and it's pronounced Ziemia in Polish, Zem in Slovakian, or Zemie in Czech. The red planet was considered the god of war by many civilizations because of its fiery red color that resembles blood. Depending on the period of time, Mars was called Pyroeis, meaning fiery, or Ares by the Greeks, and Mars by the Romans. The main difference between Ares and Mars is that although they were both gods of war, Ares was a very violent god, feared and hated by other gods and humans, whereas Mars was actually worshipped passionately by the Romans and considered the second most important god in Roman mythology, only after Jupiter. The name Ares has barely changed in modern Greek, only slightly in pronunciation. On the other side, the word Mars is exactly the same in languages like English, German, and Czech, and slightly different in Romance languages like Italian, Romanian, or Spanish. These three words come from the genitive form of the word in Latin, martis. The word martial, as in martial arts, derives from the word Mars, which leads to martial art meaning art of war. In other civilizations, like Chinese, the meaning of the word for Mars has nothing to do with war or blood. They call Mars the fire star, and in Hebrew, they refer to it as the one who blushes. The gas giant Jupiter had a few names in ancient Greece: Phaethon, which was also sometimes used for Saturn, Dios Aster, meaning star of Zeus, or simply Zeus, who was the father of all gods and mankind, as well as the god of the sky and thunder. The word in modern Greek is slightly different, since it comes from the genitive form of the word, but it is essentially the same, Dias. The word Zeus or Dias is related to Latin Deus, which means God. This term is also used in Romance languages like Portuguese, Romanian, or Italian. In Roman mythology, Jupiter is also the king of gods and the equivalent of Dias. The Latin word Jovis or Jupiter comes from Indo-European diu, meaning light, and Peter, meaning father, which leads to Jupiter being the father of light. This word is used in most European languages today, such as in French, German, or Dutch. Saturn is the farthest visible planet and the second biggest in the solar system. In ancient Greece, this planet had two names, Phaenon or Chronos. In Greek mythology, Chronos was a titan and the personification of time. This word has produced some international terms such as chronological. The Romans considered the god Saturnus the god of agriculture and time, and it was of course the equivalent of the Greek god Chronos. In modern Greek, the planet retains the name Chronos with a slight variation. Once again, the word Saturnus is kept in many languages, as varied as Romanian, Norwegian, or Lithuanian. Uranus is the first not visible planet, and it was discovered in the 18th century by German astronomer Friedrich Herschel. It is also the first planet to be named after a Greek god, Uranus, the god of the sky. In ancient Greece, the name of the planet would have been Uranos, and the Latin equivalent would be Caelus, both meaning sky. In modern Greek, Uranos is still used both to refer to the planet and to the sky. The word Caelus gave origin to the word cielo in Spanish, ciel in French, or cielo in Italian, all meaning sky. Here is how we name the planet in Spanish, German, and Czech. The blue planet Neptune is the 8th in the solar system, and it was discovered in the 19th century. Another planet that, like Mars, was named after its color. In this case, it was named after the god of the sea, Neptune, because of its blue color that resembles the ocean. In Latin, this god was referred to as Neptunus. This word still exists in most European languages, like Neptune in Russian, Neptuno in Portuguese, or Neptune in Polish. This time, it was the Greeks who used the equivalent of the Roman god to name it, Poseidonas in modern Greek. In ancient Greek, this word was pronounced Poseidon, and it was the fearful god of the sea in ancient Greek mythology. Pluto was discovered in 1930 and declassified as a planet in 2006. However, it was seen as a planet for more than 70 years, and it would not be fair to leave it out. Pluto is now classified as a dwarf planet, and as you can guess, it was the latest to be discovered. It was named after the Roman god of the underworld. This name was suggested by an 11-year-old girl, and it was made official later by a commission of scientists. This term was once again coined in European languages. Pluton in French or Plutone in Italian are some examples. In modern Greek, they decided to follow suit and name it Plutonas, which in Greek mythology was another name to refer to Hades, also the god of the dead and the king of the underworld, although Hades is more evil than Roman Pluto. The name Plutonas is related to Plusios in modern Greek, which means rich, because Greeks knew how valuable materials in the underground can be. In ancient Greece, this planet would have been named as either Pluton or Hades. The latest word still exists in modern Greek, meaning not only the god but also the underworld.